Hello and welcome back to Games Played Technically. I am your host, and today we're back in Satisfactory. And last episode we worked on increasing our coal output so that we could produce more steel. And today we're going to continue that, kind of trying to maximize on the one node that we have. So currently that node is putting out 240 coal per minute. That is with the Mark II miner. However, our Mark III belts can move 270 coal per minute. So we're going to overclock that miner so we get that 30 extra coal. Same thing with the iron miner so we can produce more steel. Currently we have 3 foundries. 2 are operating at 100%. 1 is at 2/3, 66%, right? So if we can get that 30 extra coal, 30 extra iron, we can actually overclock that foundry to 133%. That'll get us 60 steel, and we're strapped for steel, so we need that for sure. We're gonna have to come up with another solution later, like, more coal nodes, but for now, we're gonna max out this node and get as much steel as we can. So let's get started. And then we'll move on to something else. I also plan on getting the concrete also patched in so that we can start producing our encased steel beams. Really wish you wouldn't. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna go to I'm gonna take big damage, and we're going to go to our coal miner, and we're gonna overclock it a bit. We're gonna miss that bridge first of all, and then we're gonna go overclock. Man, we're gonna die if we keep doing those big jumps. Alright, let's overclock this miner here. And so what I'm thinking is, this does present a problem here actually. We're gonna have to do some logic here that I had not planned on. But it has to be done. And we'll try to get through this really quickly. So if we're gonna have 270, 120 is gonna continue to go that way, which means that 150 will be traveling in this direction. And so that should not be too complicated to do. And so we're going to divide by 3. That's gonna give us 90, 90, and 90. Then we will divide another one. Oh, this is the wrong way around. So we're gonna build the infrastructure first. That way we can quickly patch it in. We don't have to worry about losing power. And so then this one again gets divided by 3, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do it here. Is that lined up? So that's another 3. So we're going to have, let's see, we're gonna have let's see, 90 and 120, or rather 90 and 30 gets us 120, which can go this way. So let's see, I think what we can do actually is we can do a merger here. And it's gonna clip through here, but this is just in the meantime. Ignore the clipping. And then we do our 90 over here. So this right here is 120. This is what's going to go to the foundries. And then the remaining amount needs to all get merged together to go in the other direction. So let's see what the best way to do that is. I'm thinking like right here. Seems to make sense. Yep, that is crooked. What is it lining up with that it's, oh, this one is crooked. Oh, man. Okay, well, let's fix that real quick. There has to be a better way. Okay. There we go. We patch that in there. Ah. Not like that, like that, like that. Okay, and let's check our math real quick. So once we overclock this, we'll have 270 coming out here. This splitter will be gone. It'll go into this splitter. This splits into 3. So that's 90, 90, and 90. And so this merges here with, rather I should say, this splits into 90 over here. So this second splitter splits into 3. So that's 30, 30, and 30. And so the 30 on this lift merges with the 90 on this from this splitter. That gives us 120, which is 120 that is sent to the uh-oh, those guys having trouble keeping up. Okay, we're gonna have to check on that. Yeah, we're having some trouble there. That's not good. We're gonna have to see what's causing that in just a minute. But we will be sending 120 this way, and then we will have 150 going the other direction, this way. So let's go ahead, and before we do that, let's figure out what's going on with our generators here. My guess is that it's water, because it looks like the coal is, yeah, the coal is full up there. What's going on here? Yikes, that is, don't like that. That is bad. Really hate that. Yep, it's the water. Okay, so let's take a look here. So there is an issue with our water. So I remember setting the extractors to maximum. Let's just make sure that is still the case. 100%. 100%. And I'm sure this is 100%. Okay, so my guess is this is the way the water is coming in here. Let's see where our problem is. So let's see, would it be better if it just, well, I guess it could meet between these two, right? If I do I guess I don't know why I didn't thought of this previously, but I suppose it could just be like right here. Let's see what this does. I said I was gonna look into into how fluids work a bit. I have not done that yet. Didn't think this was gonna be a problem here. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should take our 300 meters cubed per minute. Split it into 150 and 150, and if each of these is using 50, wait, 50. Current amount, oh, that's current amount in building. Consumption is 45. Seems like not enough water, actually. Okay, let me double check this, 1 minute. Okay, so best as I can tell, the issue is our max flow rate. So these three are putting out 360 meters cubed per minute. These Mark 1 pipes only allow 300 meters cubed per minute. So I think the fix is to add a pipe to this side that maybe then feeds around to the other end. So I think we're going to do that real quick. Let's see, let's solve for this. So do this. We kind of want it to match up a bit. Let's see what this looks like here. Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, I think I know how we do this. does not like that. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, let's see, how can we patch this in? So we're 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see, can we... Okay, I got an idea. I'm getting one of those ideas. So let's just hope this holds. Do that. Get rid of you. Get rid of that guy. And we put another one here, and we're gonna line it up so that it's exactly in the middle here. Doesn't matter if it's... Let's see how this works. Let's see, let's just cut straight through here. Overlapping clipping may occur. Do not care. No clipping. Very good. Now there's clipping. I've seen a few comments of people saying they were following along, so I hope this is useful to you. If you exactly copied what I was doing here, then you probably have a problem. Actually, did I want to do it this way? We're gonna do it this way because we've already done it this way. I think what I wanted to do was actually probably link it to the far end, but let's see how this works. Yeah, because I have obviously made a mistake here, but let's see how this works out for us. Okay, and we're gonna let this run for just a minute. We'll fast forward through it and just see if it stabilizes. And we'll let that run for a minute. All right, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, we got a steady line now. Okay, that's good. Good news. Okay, so just to kind of reiterate, in case you're following along here, so these 3 water extractors produce 360 meters cubed per minute of water, and these pipes can only support 300. I think ideally you probably want to run one end to the other side of the pipes over here, and then the other end up this way, but it seems like this is working okay. There's a little slop in it, it looks like, maybe. Who knows, maybe it'll break down later. But it's working right now, so that's what we like to see. So let's get back to what we were doing over here. So, we should be able to just delete that guy, delete this guy, delete this guy, delete this guy, delete this guy, and patch in a Mark III there. Oh, and these have to be Mark IIs. Right now, this is sending 150. This has to be a Mark III, doesn't it? Yep. These are all Mark IIIs here. So we'll have to hit those on our way back. However, the rest of these should be fine, right? See, at 60, these have to be Mark II, because this is sending... hold up. No, this is sending 90. This is sending 90. This is also sending 90. And this is also 90. Okay. This is 90 here. And then we have 120. Hold up. Yeah, no, yeah, that's right. That is correct. Okay. Okay, there goes our 120. So our generators will not stop. Let me dump all of this coal here. We don't need it. Okay, so Mark 3, Mark 2 for 90, 30, 30, Mark 2 for 90. And then these are Mark 3s, and it's got to be Mark 3s the whole way. Okay, so here we do have to do something different. And shoot, how much space do we have? Because we're sending 150 here. However, this is splitting based on receiving 120. So that means we have to split the... oh shoot, we gotta split this before it goes into here. That's okay. We are going to do that though, out here. But we'll make some space for it here. And really, oh, that's because of that sulfur there. I guess I could be bringing in this guy here rather than that over there. Okay, let's figure out how we split it first, right? So we're gonna have two of these guys coming in at 150, and we need 120 going that way, and then we will feed in. Oh, where are we feeding in our... Here? Let's see, how are we splitting this? So these are merging. Oh, I think our weak one is this one. This is the one that is at 33%. Or rather 66%. Let's go upstairs and double check it. Yeah, so this guy is our 66%. Big jump. So that means we'll have to patch into this guy. And the rest of it will stay the same. Okay, that works. Yeah, we can just feed it in. We can just do some stacked mergers here and feed it in. Okay. So what we do then is we're taking 150. And we've got to split that up so we get 120 and 30. Hey guys, so I paused a minute back to do some math and forgot to unpause. So I'm actually not sure right now what I forgot to include in here, but I'll walk you through what we've got going on here. So these belts are not currently producing, or rather our miners aren't giving us 150 yet. We've got to overclock them for them to do that, but these are Mark III belts coming in over here. So what we did is instead of having them go this way, we have them coming in to these these splitters over here rather than directly into those. So I'll explain kind of what that's doing real quick as soon as I can get out from this jumble of conveyor belts. So we've got, imagine 150 is coming in here to these splitters. So these are Mark II belts right here. So that means that they can carry 120, right? And these are Mark I belts, which means they only carry 60. So these should be pulling 60, leaving 90 to be pulled in this direction, right? And so that's a little bit novel. If I hadn't explained before, that's not something I thought of doing previously, but it makes sense. So then we have these splitters. So these splitters are then taking this 60 and splitting it into two again. So 30 and 30. So the 30 going this way merges with the 60 coming out of here, and we get 120. So those 120s are then heading into our original splitters, our splitters from last episode over here. And so that keeps everything over here the same. which is good. That's what we want. But we did add these mergers over here. So these mergers are then adding the 30 that we have coming off of here. Those merge into whatever's coming off of here. I forget the exact number. But what this results in is that previously these belts were leading up to a foundry that can only run at 66%. But with this extra 30, that means I think they'll run at 133%. So we'll have an overclocked foundry up there once we give it its power shard. And so then additionally what we did is we made sure that all of these belts are, they have to be Mark III. The ones heading towards the iron miner, they also have to be Mark III, because this is going to be giving us 150, not 120 anymore. So we did go ahead and do that, and in order to get 150, we overclocked it by 25%, so we're at 125% to give us 150 iron ore, which will match the 150 coal ore that we'll be getting from our coal miner once we go back and overclock it. We forgot to do that, so we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Hey guys, Editor Adrian here, and I don't know if that was clear enough, kind of the way that I explained it, so I'm going to include this chart here as we run to the coal miner and see if that helps kind of explain what's going on. So on the left here, you'll see source 150. Those are our overclocked iron and coal miners. That's sending us 150 on a conveyor stack. And so on that first splitter, that's where we're doing something different. I think this works. So we're using a Mark I belt on the bottom so that we only pull 60 max. And then on the top, we're using a Mark II to pull 90. And so the 60 going to the bottom splitter is then split in two again, so 30 and 30. The top 30 is merged with the 90 from the previous splitter to make 120, and that 120 enters the conveyor logic from episode 15, so all of that stays the same. So the remaining 30 merges into the 30 that's being output from our previous conveyor logic that was going towards the underclocked foundries, right? So that'll merge together, and instead of 30, it's going to have 60, so instead of being underclocked at 66%, it'll be overclocked to 133%. I really hope that clears it up for you guys. Okay, so this one's only giving us 240 and we need 270. So we need 30 more, which is only 1/8 of this. So I think that's 112.5 is what we need here. Yeah, it's half of what we needed to do for the other one. So I believe, yep, there we go. So now we're getting our 270 there. So 270 is getting pumped out, and we're getting 150 coming back this way. So let's head back to our factory. And actually, I previously said we didn't need hyper tubes, and granted, on the way back to the factory, we have the bonus of getting just bonkers speed from the Mark III belts now, but it might be good to have some hyper tubes taking us to the coal generators and back. It's not a big distance to cover, but hey, it'll save me a little bit of time, and it might be fun to do. And maybe we can do that to get to the top of the buildings too, or rather to the top of our factory. That might be useful. Something to think about for another episode. Okay, so now both of these should be giving us 150. And if that's the case, we have to figure out, do we not have these running? That might be the case. All right, let's go upstairs. Okay, let's drag in our power shard. Previously we were at 66. Okay, so we are now, so now that we've, so this was the weak foundry, right? It was only getting 66%, so 30. So now we have another 30, so that brings us up to 60. So we should be around, what is the number? Was it 100? Yep, 133.3. Go ahead and get that entered in. All right. And so that means that this guy should stay producing. Oh, but we need somewhere to send it. Yeah, these guys are maxed out right now. So we're gonna do that in just a minute. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna figure out. So currently these 45, let's see, what are they doing for us? Let's go ahead and ourselves a ladder here. If I remember correctly, I think we're just maxing out one set of constructors. I know they're at 50%. They take 30 and 30. This takes 15 and 30. Oh, that's right. 45 and then 30. Or sorry, 15 and 30 makes 45, and I think that's what our output is. Alright, that is what our output is. And so, if we add another constructor, we can double our pipe output and then max out that steel beam output from this guy here. So I think we'll do that because that's simple, and that'll leave just our overclocked one to do separately. So I think I like that. I think we're gonna do that. What can we do? Do a few things. Let's see here. We might need to reduce some of this logic down here, because if we max this out, this is taking 60, and this is taking 30, so that gives us 90. So 45 and 45 should do it. Okay, we just have to figure out what that logic looks like. And actually then what we can do is we don't have to do all of this. Although I would like to consolidate this over here. Yeah, I think what I want to do is I want to consolidate both of those outputs right here. This is going to be 90 actually, so these will have to be Mark IIs. And what we'll do is we're going to merge. Well, I suppose this can, I suppose we could couple, couldn't we? We'll leave a gap. We'll leave room for whoever it is that we leave room for. And then we can take this here, merge that over there. It's a Mark II. And we're just gonna let this guy finish up. That way we don't get too much ingot in our pockets. And so now we've got 90 coming up here. We're gonna max that out at 160 and 30. We're gonna take our 90 and split it into 3. This is a Mark II belt because we have... Actually, no. These are both Mark I's. And then we take our remaining 30 and we can delete all of this. We were so giddy about having carved out this space to make the lifts fit, and now it doesn't even matter. And then we take our 30. And that'll max out these two constructors. That's great news. That is excellent news. So let's see, we'll be producing 15 steel beam per minute. Good. And 20 steel pipe. Now what we need for our assembler to do encased steel beams is 24, which is just an obnoxious number. So we need to be at least doubling. Really, we need to be doing more than doubling. I think steel pipes don't see as much use. I think we can dedicate the majority of the output of our remaining foundry to steel beams. But before we do that, there's something else I want to do. Let's patch in our concrete. The remaining concrete that we had kind of left undone down here. Because I have an idea for how to do this, I think. I have an idea for this. So let's see, can we do this? Maybe? This might be a tight fit. Or can we do this? Ah, I see. I think we can do this. Right height. But essentially we would do something like this. Maybe. Okay. We do this. Okay, now it's just a question of how we line up the outputs from that splitter. And I'm assuming this count is still correct, although I am less sure now why this would be correct. Thought the issue was previously that these didn't output an even number, but you know what, right now we're not going to think about it. What do we have over here? We have the constructor, mark ones. Okay. So it's too close. Let me do this. What does this do? I think this will work. Aha! It won't quite work. That's okay. What does this look like? Oh, nice. That lines up almost perfectly. Hang on. We can do it from upstairs. Why did we unholster our weapon? Oh, I like that. It just lines up perfectly. I hope the math is still correct. I thought the issue was with these guys that the math just didn't math the way we wanted it to. Control V. Control V. Oh, and they need power, don't they? So needy, so needy. I suppose it's reasonable. And let's check our output. How did we do this? How did we make this make sense? Can we jump that? Yeah, looks like it. So this is giving us 120. Right. We're splitting 120 into 3. That gives us 40, 40, 40. We have to underclock them. I think that's what we were doing. We were underclocking the constructors. So if I check the original constructors, my guess is they're down from 45 to 40. Let's see here. Yep. So this is the value that we want. All right. So now each of these gives us a perfectly round number of 13.33333. So that, what is that? That is 26.666, and then 39.9. So about 40, approximately 40 from this is what we would get. Which, let's see, what do we need for our encased steel beams again? 30. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can start laying some of the groundwork. I don't think we'll get far enough to actually get to encased steel beams, which is unfortunate. I am making this a slightly shorter episode. For me, work is ramping up, so I need to make a little space so that I can stay on top of my my real life stuff, unfortunately. Okay, so we know we currently do we? Let's see what our steel beam output is. We might be able to do the encased steel beams. If we already have the correct amount of steel beam output, we may be able to do that. So let's check that real quick. No, because we are at 15. We would need to double up. Okay, so we can't lay the groundwork for that yet. Maybe what we can do is make use of that remaining foundry that for some reason is on the other end. Okay. We laid this out poorly, that's okay. Let's see, what is our output here? So our output is 60. So if we know that our steel beams take 15, or rather take 60, okay. So what we could do is we could just produce another 15 steel beam. Easy enough. That takes no thinking at all. We don't like thinking here at Games Played Technically, because it gets us into trouble. Do things that are too clever by half. This may be just clever enough. The right amount of clever. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's good news. Actually, if we do that, shoot, can we just do the encased steel beam? We'll have to figure out we'll have to do the math for that as well. We're gonna have 30, and we're over by 1. We're gonna have 30, and we only want to take 24. Where is our power here? And you see, this is what I meant by by having done it weird. Okay. See, and this guy. I think I prefer this to that weird angle. Just having these off kilt here, that seems to make more sense. We're not going to worry about that now because that's crazy stuff. That's just crazy guy stuff. Okay. Oh, and actually, no. What we need to do here is we need to go up one more. Okay. That looks right. All right, perfect. And we need to get it over to here. So let's see here. See what this looks like here. Okay, not like that. Yeah, I think we won't have enough time for the encased steel beams, unfortunately. We go up to come back down. All right, and let's patch this guy in. Yeah, because we are actually not producing sufficient for these, right? No, we should be. What's going on here? We have 60 and 30. Okay, well there is something wrong with our math here. Even though I thought we were good. I thought we were taking 90. We're taking 90 and splitting it into 3. 30 and 30 are 60. Those go to steel beams, and then 30 goes to the steel pipes. And yet that does not seem to be, is it because for Mark IIs, Mark II, Mark 1. What is our belt here? Come on. There we go. That needs to be a Mark II belt. So I think that's what's slowing us down here. Yep, there we go. Okay. I mean, really what I could do is let's see, if I have to pull 24 out, we could start with a different value by using these storage containers. That might be what I need to do. Okay, we're not gonna do that right now. We don't have the time for it. However, I think this was decent. It is a minor tweak, but I think it is a necessary tweak. We're just not producing enough steel to meet what we currently need. And this is optimizing the node, right? This node is now giving us 270, which is what our belts can carry. So not bad. The good news is, so once we get, they're not lined up correctly, ignore that. So once we get our encased steel beams going, what I want to do is I want to make some progress on phase 2. So I do want to get like the automatic wiring, I think is what it is. I was calling it something else last episode. I want to get that sorted out so we can get into phase 3. Now, the good news in regards to coal is, again, there is coal over here. And although we don't need the power from it, let's see what our power usage is at. Yeah, we're still doing okay. Our maximum consumption is still even under what our coal is producing here. We can go above that. That's just going to start requiring biofuel. However, there is the coal over there. I guess if we just funnel it down, we can build on that lake we were initially planning to, or move it over here to that lake. Both of those are options if we need more power. And then additionally, that extra coal can be, matched, for example, with that iron node. Or rather, yeah, that remaining iron node that we have to produce even more steel. So we have our options. We have some things that we can do. Let's see where we're at with our milestones real quick before we sign off. So let's see, hypertubes requires encased steel beam. This one we could actually probably do right now. I'm not ready for a blueprint episode yet, I don't think, but let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do this milestone. So last week I think we were short on rotors. I think I forgot that I had a container with just a decent amount of rotors in there. Forgot about that, including the 100 we have in here. So, well, at least we know we got them now. Okay, so let's grab, I don't remember how many we needed. We're out of space. Let's see. Rotors are coming along okay here. Actually, let's dump some of our rotors in there. That way we can grab some more of these. I don't know how many we need. Did not mark the milestone, so that's not helpful. But this should probably be the right amount. Ooh. Close to dead there. Imminent destruction. Alright, that's the right amount. Here we go. So got that milestone out of the way just to add a little more progress to this kind of light episode. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I noticed that a lot of my viewers are not subscribed. I don't know how much of the video they're watching, but if you watch this far, please consider subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of any new episodes. There will be an XCOM episode later this week, I hope. It's going to be a rough week for me at work, so I'm going to do my best. And there will be another Satisfactory episode in a week. I hope your week goes a lot smoother than mine. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.